Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome back to another Marvel Strike Force event video. Today, we're going to be going over the start of the month-long event of October, which is for Tigra, but we have the upcoming event on a Monday called the Dark Defenders, so we're going to be going over everything that you need to know in order to max this event out as much as we possibly can, and what we're going to get out of this, and all of that, and, some of my thoughts as well. But before we get to that, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video. Hey everyone, today's video is sponsored by Eternal Evolution, and I want to introduce you to this sci-fi idle RPG that's been getting a ton of hype recently, so I want to share with you my top 3 reasons why you should play this game. Number 1, they have amazing collaboration and special limited time events such as the one going on right now with Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045. Through playing the game, you'll unlock special characters such as Motoko Kusanagi and Vanguard Bato and obtain some amazing rewards completely free to play. Also, if you start on one of the new servers, you are guaranteed to get a free SSS Hero Ravina absolutely free. Number 2, they have amazing high-quality character designs within 3 separate factions, all with their own unique skills, and honestly, the range of characters that exist in this game are out of this world. It really makes the game more enjoyable when you have some top-notch artwork to look at. Just take a look at the amazing animations of some of the collaboration heroes new to the game. They really are incredible. I really love Vanguard Bato because of his giant rocket launcher. I mean, come on. You know he's just going to blow stuff up. And number 3, there's tons of bosses and game modes to play, and compared to Marvel Strike Force, it's actually much easier to play being an idle RPG because you can just auto-battle when you like, but also have a degree of freedom if you want to during battle. They also have some really great PvP battle modes that really showcase this aspect of the game, which makes it good for those who don't have a lot of time, but still want to engage and have some fun when they play. So if all of this sounds great, then what are you waiting for? Download now using the QR code on the screen or in the link in the description down below, and I'll see you there. Alright, and we're back. So I want to cover this really quickly here. So Night of the Were Tigress, that's the name of the month-long event for Tigra, with the 6 main events that's going to be happening between October 2nd, which starts again on Monday at 2 p.m., don't forget, until November the 6th. So it's about 5 weeks, I would say, there. And we can kind of, and this graphic is good because it actually gives us an idea of what to expect as far as the other events. We have the details right now for Dark Defenders and Vengeful Spirits. We'll be talking about Vengeful Spirits on Thursday morning ahead of that event. Today we're just covering Dark Defenders, but you can see some of the other events that's upcoming. Spectral Emporium, which is going to be the 3rd event, I think, here, and that's going to be something with regards to Kestrel. I'm not entirely sure. And then we have Technology Terror, sorry, that's probably going to be the release event for Iron Man Infinity War. You can see him on the banner here. And then we have Fight or Flight, which is going to be Darkhawk's release from October 23rd to 30th. And then we have Juggernaut, Zombie Juggernaut here on Unkillable Force for a week after that. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting, where's Ironheart? Ironheart's not on here. So I'm a little bit concerned that maybe Ironheart is going to be the month-long of November, which, just like Bifrost, because we had Vol and we had Sylvie, that we had 2 characters for the month-long for a single team, and they were a raid team. This is a raid team, so I think that that's probably going to happen because it doesn't seem like we have an event specifically designed for Ironheart Mark II on this list. So, yep. And we have a lot of ISO 8 stuff coming back and forth. Honestly, we have this. That's what Dark Defenders is all about. We'll talk about that as well. And Abyssal Assault, which is it's Coordinated Assault, kind of rewrapped, and that's going to be later on as well. We'll be talking about probably Werewolf Warzone coming up tomorrow as well, because I think it's a bit of a load of crap. But we'll be covering that as well, alongside a few other things. Let's take a look at the Were Tigress month-long calendar. I kind of talked about this a little bit on the blog post, but what I don't like is the total number of Tigra Shards is 110, and this is lower than previous months. Now, what I think is happening is that they're scattering or peppering, however you want to say it, Tigra Shards throughout the month in other events. We have, which is this one here, the Vengeful Spirits that we'll be talking about later. I think there's like 10-ish 10 or 20 Tiger Shards maybe in that event. And so if it's scattered throughout the month, maybe we'll get up to 4-star, but we'll have to see what the end results are. So just wanted to go over that. And of course we have Dark Defenders to cover just here. So let's get to the math for this one. Dark Defenders is a 4-day event. It involves ISO 8 energy spending and Cosmic Crucible battles with Masters of Evil. Cosmic Crucible wins. Sorry, and I really do hate that part as well, because some people just get, you know, some terrible matchups, and this kind of expects you to have to win all of your battles, which is not necessarily going to happen depending on who you get matched up with, right? I'm sure we've all had bad matchmaking where that just isn't possible. One thing I highly recommend, if you haven't done already, I know this is going to be very challenging because we're on the back of the other Coordinated Assault, Alchemical Assault, and so I stopped using my recharge packs, and so maybe do the best that you can to kind of save some of these up until the event goes live. Damn pop-ups. Anyways, try to save these as much as you can before the event goes live. That way you can get a few extra refills, because you will be expected to core for this event for the 4 days that it's on, and if you have these packs, that's less cores that you're going to need to spend. So just keep that in mind as well. But at least, you know, it's just one energy set. It's not like 2 energy sets in the same event. So for better or for worse. The total milestone points required to clear this event is 60,000. Now, those are whalestones, of course. And what I'm not really liking is that I feel like we're getting more and more whalestones than we did before. It used to be that the whalestones were like the final 3 milestones. Now it's kind of like 5 or 6. And so how far you're actually able to go in the milestone has decreased, I think, you know, in terms of expectations and in terms of the rewards that we're getting out of this. This past month, I might do a separate video on it, but honestly, I haven't been super happy with the character release events, especially Mockingbird's event that's been ongoing right now, and the Ronin event. I felt that they were very harsh, for lack of better words. We didn't really get a lot out of it, and the Shards for Mockingbird was pretty garbage too. So anyways, the event item that you need to clear this, though, is 18,000 milestone points. That's all of the currency related to that. We don't know what the free claim is for this. It could be about 500 daily, which would amount to about 2,000. But for the purposes of this, I'm not going to include it right now. But when I update it and post it on my Discord, I will have it including the free claim once we know that as well, once that goes live. The web milestone points, there is a web milestone involving blitzing. You need to do about 3.5 blitz rotations daily. I do have the chart up here just to show you really quickly. It's called Moonlight Mayhem. You get Defender Pumpkins, which is the currency that's involved in this. I don't know if it's an orb, if it's like 2,000 per orb, or if it's a currency in the event store. I feel like I should have read that. I'm not sure if it really matters that much, though, but regardless, it's the currency that we have to farm out of the ISO 8 energy campaign. And we get about 2,000 of this if you get 3,000 Blitz credits per day, and that roughly, and you get 30 silver promos as well. And this basically amounts to about 3.5 rotations of 45 to 50 wins. So just keep that in mind. 3 to 4 Blitz rotations is what you're looking at. You get 1 point for collecting these Defender Pumpkins. So anything in Sky Blue is going to be a subtotal. Basically, we add that up all at the end. So you get 3,600 points for winning your Cosmic Crucible battles. That's if you win all of your battles. Now, this may or may not happen, but for the purposes of this video, I am going to assume that you can do this, unfortunately, because I think they expect us to do this. You also get additional points for winning battles with Masters of Evil, and that's up to 1,500 points. So the whole team times 3, you're getting 1,500 points. That's really important. Now, what I have not included in the reasonable points assessment at the bottom is whether or not you have Masters of Evil at G16, 17, or 18. You might have Kang at 18, because I do, but I don't want to assume that everyone does. And that's going to be the difference between basically getting the event items and getting the stuff after that. Because I think that they've kind of, the way that they've laid out the milestones, I think that you're not going to get those extra ones if you don't have this stuff. If you don't have Masters of Evil at 16, 17, or 18 in some cases, you're not going to be able to get all that bonus stuff later down the line. And I guess in some ways that's fair, you know, because, you know, why give bonus points for it if you're not going to get bonus stuff, right? Let's talk about the ISO 8 energy. You're going to get roughly about 1,130 per day. So this is your 360 just from your daily time refreshing, just per minute. And then free refreshes, that's the 240 or 80 times 3 different times a day. Your 1 free ISO pack that comes from your daily objective, and then 50 from the web milestone. And then hopefully you're doing this 3 more times per day, whether that's, you know, through coring 150 cores a day, or your packs that you have saved up, whatever the case is, you're going to want to make sure you're doing this. Gets you 1130. And so this is where it's going to get interesting, right? What's the currency to energy ratio? This is always the #1 question, because they never give this to us on the goddamn blog. So I'm gonna set the bar low. I'm going to set the bar low. The lowest technically would be 1-to-1, but I don't think that's happening. It's probably going to be, the lowest would be 2-to-1. So we're going to take a look at what it looks like from 2-to-1 and what it could look like in various other scenarios here. So if this was 2-to-1 and over 4 days, you'd be getting 9,000 pumpkins from the energy. Okay, so 9,000 plus the 3,600 from Cosmic Crucible, plus the 1,500 from using Masters of Evil, plus the 8,000 from the web, not knowing the free claim, of course, would get you a reasonable points total of 22,000. Now, where does that get you on the milestone? Well, it gets you the Beast Gloves, which is great. You know, we need that. And it will give you this next milestone, actually, which is milestone 13, which is 2 Elite 5 orbs. What it wouldn't get you, or maybe it would with the free claim, if the free claim was like 500 points, you might get the 15 Photon Shards. The only way that you would get the 15 Ghost Rider Shards on top of that would be a combination of a few things. If you had a full Masters of Evil G16 and maybe a Kang at 18, you know, that might bump you up an extra 2250 plus 1,500 from an 18 Kang, right? That'd be an extra almost 4,000 points. That might get you there to the Ghost Rider Shards if it's at a 2-to-1 energy ratio. Now, let's see what happens if we bump this up to a 4-to-1, just for shits and giggles. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but let's see. So the total reasonable points then, without G16 Masters of Evil, would be 31,000. Where does that get you, and is that likely? Well, you would get the Ghost Rider Shards, okay? So you would get this milestone here. You would be just, actually, with the daily free claim, you probably would get milestone 16 as well, which would be the Silver Centurion Iron Man costume, if anyone gives a shit about that. But is that a free-to-play milestone? I don't know, because really at that point, there's only 4 more milestones left. I know it's in the way here. You can see it down here on the different lines. There's 4 more milestones after that. I can guarantee you at the bare minimum, these last 3 for sure are Whalestones. It could be that the Silver Centurion milestone is also a Whalestone. If that's the case, if that's considered a Whalestone, then it's more likely that this is a 2-to-1 ratio and not a 4-to-1 ratio. It's not going to be any more than a 4 because I just don't see us pushing past the Silver Centurion milestone. The costume milestone. There's just there's all these extra Photon and Ghost Rider Shards, and I don't think that they're wanting to give us that many. I would expect that most of us are going to get the 10. Some of us might get the extra 15 for 25 total, but I doubt it that we're getting a total of 40 through this event from both characters. So I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that the costume is actually a Whalestone, or not a Whalestone, but you have to have your Masters of Evil geared up pretty high as a full team in order to get that far. So that's my assumption. I know my assumptions have been wrong, but I do feel that that's kind of the track that we're going on right now with Scope League milestones, and I have a good inkling that that's probably what we're getting. So I'm going to keep this a 2-to-1. We'll see what it ends up being, and of course, I will update that on my Discord, share that with you all if it's something egregiously different, you know, and put the final total there. But I'm pretty confident what this is. So final notes, again, this doesn't include, and we'll talk about spirits in a different video, this does not include G16 plus Masters of Evil. If you have Gear 16 or even a G18 Kang or others, even better. You know, I do have a Gear 18 Kang, and I think I have, quite a few of them at G16 actually, so that will help me. But not necessarily everyone's going to have that. You will have a much higher chance of getting those Photon and Ghost Rider additional 15 shards for a total of 25 each. For those of you who need it, who might be close to a rank up for either of those two characters, you know, I'll take 25 of both if I can get it, but otherwise, you know, we'll see where the cards land, I suppose, with this. So that's everything, everyone. And don't forget that if you want to check out Eternal Evolutions, please click the link in the description down below. I'd much appreciate that. Otherwise, until next time, everybody, stay safe and healthy, and I will see you all later on the next Marvel Strike video by me, Boilon. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and if you haven't also subscribed yet, I know that there's still a handful of people out there who haven't subscribed to the channel but are still watching me, so make sure you click that button, and until next time, stay all that stuff. I already said that. Okay, Boilon, signing out for the day.